All right, guys, we're talking NBA hoops as the playoffs continues to roll on, and we have Game 3 action from the Boston Celtics, absolutely annihilating Elijah Nixon's New York Knicks. Yes, that boy is a LA Rams fan, a New York Knicks fan. You got a baseball team?
I claim the Cardinals, but whoever win the World Series is who I go with.
He's just all over the place. So the Boston Celtics beat the New York Knicks 115-93 in a game where Payton Prichard was the star of the show for the Celtics. He had 23 points off the bench, shooting 50% from the floor and 50% from three. He was 5 of 10 from deep. He had 35 minutes off the bench. Jaylen Brown had 19. Jayson Tatum had 22. Al Horford had 15. And Derek White had 17. So you had 5 players in double figures. Drew Holiday had 8. So if he would have made another bucket, you would have had 6 players in double figures. And the Knicks had an opportunity, man, to go up 3-0 on the number 2 seed and the defending NBA champions, and they weren't able to do it. Elijah, why do you feel like that happened? Because to me, it simply was whatever Boston lost in games 1 and 2, they found it. Like they went to the lost and found. They said that belongs to me. Let me get that back, and they started going with it. But what do you think it was, bro?
The Knicks just dropped one in their diaper, man. They dropped the one in their diaper today, man. The Knicks was bad, man. They just couldn't get anything going. In the first quarter, I think it was practically down 20. The Knicks was practically down 20. Yeah. But it just got worse and worse. Boston was hitting outside shots, inside shots. Jaylen Brown was getting whatever he wanted. Jayson Tatum, hit a couple shots. Like you said, Pritchard came off the bench and gave him 27. Drew Holiday
23, gave him 23. Yeah.
In 27 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yeah. 35 minutes. God dang. So he was just balling.
He basically started. He just
he was balling. And for the Knicks, it was just I'm not one of those guys that be like, oh, they missed calls. No, they didn't really. The referees didn't miss calls. You have to play through that. That's the playoffs. I think what the Knicks have to do is have to start faster. Like you can't keep trailing behind and then expecting to play catch up this whole time. Like you said, Boston found what they were missing after the first 2 games. I think that it can roll over into game 4 and we will be looking at an even series because it's just the Knicks. They didn't, to me personally, didn't play well in the first 2 games. Boston kind of gave up those games, and the Knicks was able to fall in. If they could play even, then we could talk about different games. But I think I don't know, man. I don't see it. And Al Horford, I want to talk about that. Al Horford blocked Mitch Robinson's shot. Al Horford is 45. Horford,
brother is in year 18 and can still give you 10, 12, 15 and 10. You can say what you want to about that. He's skillful. Look, he comes from that tree under the Atlanta Hawks back when they had ISO Joe and Josh Smith. The boys were straight. Like, listen, he didn't have championship pedigree, but he had playing experience. He brought that to Boston, and that's what I think is the glue that's helping them become a championship team. So don't do that now.
No, man.
Don't say it. No, I'm not letting you do that. Al Horford is not a scrub, brother. Don't do that.
No, they're not a scrub. No, Al Horford not a scrub.
All right now.
But when you're a high flyer and you're athletic as Mitch Robinson and you getting your shot pounded by somebody who's a pause. by somebody that is a sneeze away from the senior citizen home is embarrassing.
All right, man.
There's no way. There's no way.
How old is Al Horford? Now I got to look this up. He's getting out of line. You said it like this man is 52 years old. I know he's in year 18, but my goodness. You said like he's 38. LeBron is 40. What are we talking about? He's 38. Now I get it. They play different positions, different styles of play, all of that good stuff. But we're not finna act like Al Horford didn't just put up 15 and 9, 6 and 9 shooting in 35 minutes of play. Most at 38 years old.
Oh, he's efficient. Most definitely, I think he's efficient. You ain't lying, Fitz.
He's efficient. He's always been that way. And that is the piece that helps Boston because obviously they like to shoot the 3 ball. They live and die by it. That's what they found. They did not see it on clearance. They bought that full price. They are going to live and die by the 3-point ball. And Al Horford is the piece in the middle that, okay, that ain't hitting. Y'all come down here with me. I'm going to post up, kick it back out to y'all, and we're going to do work whatever we need to, or however we need to make it work. But I get what you're saying about your boy, but Al Horford can easily in this series average 15 and 10 because of the way that he plays. I think what has to happen for New York is Jalen Brunson is going to get his. He's your superstar. Whatever. Like, everything runs through him. Karl Anthony Towns cannot have 2 points in the second half. He got to find a way. Get the basketball, attack the basket, put your back to the goal, face up, attack the basket, bro, and you got to finish strong. There were a lot of times that I saw him going to the cup, and it was like he was looking for the contact. He was looking for them to call it, but it's like, just go to the basket and finish. Go to the basket and finish, because I think he had 13 in the first half. I want to say he finished with like 18, so he only had 5 or something like. Let me double check that to make sure I'm saying it correctly. So he finished with 21. So that means at the time that they pulled up the stat, he had 13 in the first half. He had made 2 in the second half. So he finished with 8 there in the second half. But it's like, bro, when you're struggling and you're down, especially that much, the big time players got to be able to handle business. And there was a lot of situations where the defense looked a little bit confused from what Boston was giving them, because it was one of them plays. Pritchard came around the screen and nobody came over the top. Nobody came to help. And he just pulled up a wide open 3. And it's like, bro, those busts can't happen. I'm not saying you got to be perfect, but busts like that can't happen, especially when this dude coming off the bench shooting 50% from 3 and he hitting you over the head for 23 points. That can't happen. So
you ain't lying. And then this is the first game the Celtics actually shot a little bit well from the 3-point line. I think it was 20 for 40 with 50%, and I think the Knicks were 5 for 23 if I'm sadly mistaken. But again, bro, at the same time, bro, like, you know, Boston was eventually going to have a game. I mean, it's a 7-game series for a reason. It's not like the NFL, you're one and done. So they were eventually going to find themselves, but the Knicks put themselves in a predicament that they can either
they're in a pickle.
Yeah. You played well enough. You didn't play great, but you played well enough to win the first 2 games. Now, can you play great enough to win 2 more games? Now, I don't see this series ending until 6. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It may go to 7, but I think it goes until 6. So, but it's just you know, as a Knicks fan, it hurt. But as a basketball fan, you seen the Boston about to grab their old ways back and did what they did today. So, I mean, you can't be too mad about it, because if you're a basketball fan, you know.
We're going to see, man. We're going to see. The Boston Celtics take game 3 from New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden in front of Spike Lee. That boy was looking distraught. They did a cutaway, and he was like this. He was distraught because his team was embarrassing him at the time. So,
they embarrassed me too, Spike. I don't want chopped cheese. I wanted to be like, forget Boston, son. Forget Boston. Boston State. If I had a 4-leaf clover, bro, I tell you right now, bro. If the Knicks choke on this series, if the Knicks lose.
Hold on, brother. We're not finna act like you wasn't just at the bar the other day saying, man, I'll be glad if we go to 5 games. I think we're going to get swept. Now, all of a sudden, expectation. You see how things change, people?
Because we won 2 games.
No. You didn't believe in your team. Now, all of a sudden,
I did it
because they got some wins under their belt. You think, no, it don't work like that.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Winning always creates expectations, especially for fickle fans like that one right there. Because,
listen, the Boston Celtics swept us 4-0. You heard what you just said? Winning fickle's expectations. We didn't win a game against the regular season. We lost by an average of 15 points, including of game 1 when I remember they hit 29 threes against us. There was 1 3 away. They were like 1 3 away from like the record. And I'm like, yo, I don't know if we're gonna beat this Boston team. But when we won 2 games, I was like, hold on now.
They won them close though. I won by 3 and then 1 by 1. One was in overtime, but you did get the victory.
Don't let me down, New York.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see the Knicks play the Celtics back there at the Garden. They're back there at the Garden. And that game will be on Monday. What is it going to be on ESPN? Yeah, 6:30 tip on ESPN. We'll see if the New York Knicks can get a 3-1 lead, or will Boston make it 2-2 and then head back to their home. We shall see.